You're listening to Transmission, expert analysis and insights into the latest trends and developments in the energy market from APA Group.
The role of gas-powered generation in the energy transition, an APA energy explainer. Just a few years ago, the narrative around Australia's energy transition seemed perfectly straightforward. Out with fossil fuels and in with renewables. But as the rollout accelerates across the country, the physical realities of powering a modern, industrialised society are becoming clear. When the sun sets and the wind drops, what actually keeps the lights on? Terry Chapman, General Manager of Major Projects at APA Group, put the stakes into perspective.
Society demands constant power, and because power's been very reliable, people are not used to when you don't have power. But believe me, when you haven't got power, everything stops.
Because of this reality, the conversation has shifted. Gas is seen as an essential partner to renewables. Nikki Weier, Head of Business Development for Gas-Powered Generation at APA, notes this changing market sentiment.
There's been a really shift in the mentality around gas, particularly in Australia, around it being a transitional fuel and it actually underpinning and supporting renewable energy targets by providing that firming generation when the sun's not shining and the wind's not blowing.
To understand why gas is the hero of the transition, we must focus on the physics. Dr. Gary Bryant, Executive General Manager for Power at APA, explains the core engineering challenge.
Our modern electricity system is fundamentally based on balancing the supply of electricity to match the demand of customers in the market at every single second of every single day of the year. Now, renewable energy by its nature is an intermittent supply, and there may even be periods of time where this renewable energy is not available or is only available in reasonably small quantities, and we call that a renewable drought.
During these renewable droughts, the grid needs a guarantee of backup power. Matthew Forrest, a veteran in energy project development, explains why firm generation is non-negotiable.
Fundamentally, we need some reliable, firm method of generation in the network that we can switch on and we know is absolutely going to be there no matter what, to keep the lights on when the less reliable sources, when those things are not there.
But why gas and not just giant batteries or existing coal? Dr. Gary Bryant explains the technical differences.
The batteries can supply some of that electricity for a relatively short period of time, but having the batteries available to meet the long duration that can be experienced where you don't have wind and solar can be very, very expensive. Coal-fired power stations take a long time to start, measured in terms of half a day to a day. They're not able to ramp quickly. Gas turbines, on the other hand, start quickly, ramp quickly, and can operate at very low loads. And so as the renewable energy in the market increases, we need technologies that can complement the characteristics of those renewable energies.
Gas acts as a safety net. Dave Whatmough, who heads up the gas-powered generation team at APA, describes it as an insurance policy.
Gas is needed either for those black swan, low probability, high impact events when the wind doesn't blow, the sun doesn't shine, and the batteries run out after 4 to 8 hours. That insurance policy is needed. So it is largely an insurance product, and everyone resents paying for it until you need it.
Beyond just generating electricity, gas turbines naturally stabilise the grid. Our electrical grid was historically built around massive, heavy coal turbines. Their spinning metal components create a physical momentum known as system inertia. Dave Whatmough explains how gas replicates this.
So we get something free with rotating machine power generation called the system stability. So just because these machines are spinning around, that provides inherent system inertia, which deals with any spike events in the system.
The physical stability is vital to getting more renewables into the system. As Matthew Forrest warns,
if we don't build some flexible generation around the wind and solar to operate with it flexibly every day, we'll be in a situation where the market operator will constrain the wind and the solar off.
Building this critical infrastructure requires a long-term commitment. Nikki Weier highlights why APA's specific model is the right fit.
Brand and reputation, existing Australian footprint, financial strength, bundling together with gas and power generation solutions, willingness to invest, and long-term asset ownership.
Unlike developers who build to flip, APA is an owner-operator. Terry Chapman points out that this changes the dynamic with communities and customers.
We have to be trusted to look after the asset, maintain it. It's a bit like a marriage, really, it's not something you enter into for a short-term gain or something. So the critical assets, they have to be there, and they have to trust us that they're going to operate.
Ultimately, investing in gas-powered generation is what enables the broader decarbonisation of the economy. As Gary Bryant eloquently summarises,
our role in this transition is to bring in gas generation that operates a little bit at a time, which results in the permanent closure of coal, has to be considered an overwhelmingly positive thing. Our ability to bring in gas a little bit at a time to allow someone who burns a lot of gas to move from gas to renewables with our little bit of gas to back them up has to be considered an overwhelmingly positive thing.
The old renewables versus gas debate is no longer the case. The two must operate as partners. Without the firming power, the rapid response, and the system stability of gas-powered generation, the renewable revolution simply cannot happen. As APA steps up to build and operate these critical assets, they are ensuring that as the energy mix changes, Australia's power stays on.
For more information, please visit apa.com.au/transmission.